friends, thanks for coming back for day 2 of the 13 Days of Halloween series, every Tuesday and Thursday coming up to Halloween. Today we're making a Halloween layout, and I'm using the brand new collection from Wild Whisper Designs, Halloween Night, and I have the coordinating sequins. I've already cut into this awesome paper pack, and I'm using a sketch from the SCT 365 layout class from 2019. Every month there's a new sketch, a double-sided sketch, but I'm using the right side of the September sketch. So I've grabbed some Distress Oxide inks. I am adding some ink to the edges of this paper. It's a really neat white with a black in it, and I thought I would give it some color around the edges. The Distress Oxides are really nice to blend, and just by rubbing them a little further, you get them to really blend into each other and smooth out. You can see the back of that paper was a really spooky white spider. And I have cut a piece of spiderweb paper, and then the orange paper has little skulls on it. You can see the back was a really cool haunted house. That was a full page. So they do have double packs if you can't decide which paper to use, which is really fun. And the branding strips always have a fun design on them. So I layered on that orange branding strip, and now I'm putting on some black paper that has the white striations through it, and adding a little bit of ink around the edges. Because the Distress Oxides have a bit of pigment in them, you will actually see them on top of the white. So I thought, because I didn't have any ephemera or additional embellishments for this layout, I wanted to show you how to use paper elements. So there was a cut apart sheet in the collection, in the paper pack, and I used the Halloween Night for my title, and I just fussy cut around it, and I cut out those two elements, the spider and the skull. You can easily cut around your images just by moving your scissors, moving the paper rather than your scissors. You will have better luck with making a smooth cut. So I am just doing a little bit of stamping here with a spider web over top of another piece of this cut apart sheet, and I'm stamping with Versamark ink, which is a sticky ink, and then we're going to do some embossing. So because the ink is sticky, it holds the embossing powder on, and I'm using the Wispy Wool embossing powder, and this is the Wild Whisper Designs brand. They coordinated with Emerald Creek to put this out. You can barely see it because it is on a white background right now, and once we add some inks though, you're going to be able to see it, and it creates a bit of a resist. So I'm just sponging on those inks, and then we'll be able to see that spider web show up. This was a really fun layout to do. I used a photo of my 3 girls from last Halloween, so October 2018, and I used my Canon selfie to print off the photo. I really like doing that if I don't have some photos pre-printed. I just choose which one I want and print it with the selfie printer, and have really been happy with the quality. So I matted the photo with some red sparkle glittery paper, and now I'm inking up this die cut spider web that I just found in my stash, and I put some Versamark ink again on that, and I'm adding that Wispy Wool embossing powder again, and you can see how cool it melts. I didn't want to cover it completely. If you want to have a more opaque coverage, you could go over it again with the embossing ink and then another coat of the powder, but I liked the effect. This was kind of like a grungy effect. Now I'm just layering on my elements. similar to how the sketch is created. And if you're interested in that online sketch class, you can check out the Scrapbook and Cards Today website. They have several online classes, and it's under their classes, and it's SCT 365 layout class. So I'm using some tacky glue just to glue everything down and add the layers the way that I want them. And we've got a sheet of paper that has a neat brick kind of paper on one side, and then these images of vintage bottles and fun little Halloween images that you can cut out of the other side. So I distressed with my scissors around the edges of this label and added some foam tape to the Halloween night title that I fussy cut from the cut apart sheet, and added some Distress Oxide ink around the edges of it just to give it a vintage kind of distressed grungy feel. So I'm just layering everything on where I want it to go. And we've got this little skeleton guy cut out from the other piece of paper, and then there's this paper here that has some really neat bottles with creepy things in them. So just by using your papers and cutting out different images, you can really create a fun look and create lots of interest, and definitely extend your stash and make it go further. So we've got the coordinating sequins here. These are made by Spiegelmom Scraps and coordinated by Wild Whisper to match their papers, and they are just beautiful. So the colors really match. Usually how I layer on the sequins is in clusters of 3, and I just kind of pick 3 different areas and add a few of each on. So here's a look at this completed layout. It was nice and easy to do just by using that sketch, and I really enjoyed using these new papers from Wild Whisper. I would love for you to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this Halloween series. And you can check the links below on YouTube to find the Wild Whisper store, as well as my blog where I share lots of fun creations. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.